My HOA president smiled while handing me a $10,000 violation notice for offense he'd approved himself. 6 days later, I handed him a 1954 city blueprint proving his $1 million master bedroom was sitting on my property. I bought my first house when I was 29. Nothing fancy. 2 bedrooms, small backyard, old maple tree. I'd saved for almost 8 years, and I loved every inch of it. Apparently, my HOA president hated that. His name was Richard. Retired attorney, perfect lawn, perfect smile, perfect talent for making everyone miserable. The first fine came 3 weeks after I moved in. My trash can stayed outside 40 minutes too long. $50. Then it was my mailbox. Wrong shade of black. $75. Then my flower pots. Apparently, they were visually inconsistent with neighborhood standards. Every month, another envelope, another fine, another threat. When I finally asked why he kept targeting me, he smiled. You'll eventually realize this neighborhood isn't the right fit. Translation, sell the house. One afternoon, I hired a contractor to replace my old fence. I submitted every permit, every drawing. The HOA approved everything. The fence went up. 3 months later, Richard knocked on my door carrying another envelope. He actually looked excited. Your fence violates the original subdivision setback. $10,000. Or remove the fence within 7 days. I stared at him. You approved the plan. He shrugged. Mistakes happen. Then he leaned closer. You know, cash buyers are paying well around here. That was the moment I stopped arguing. Instead, I drove to the county archives, mostly out of spite. An elderly clerk disappeared into a storage room and came back pushing a dusty cart. Inside were rolled maps tied together with faded red ribbon. Original neighborhood surveys from 1954, hand-drawn, signed by the city engineer. We spent almost 4 hours comparing them to modern records. Then the clerk suddenly stopped talking. She pointed at one line. You should probably look at this. Richard's lot didn't match today's plat, not even close. His property line had quietly shifted during a subdivision update decades earlier. The official city survey showed something unbelievable. His master bedroom extended almost 4 feet onto my parcel. 4 feet. The addition he'd bragged about at every HOA meeting was legally sitting on my land. The following Tuesday was the monthly HOA meeting. Richard stood in front of 40 homeowners, announcing my violation like he'd already won. He even held up photos of my fence. When he finished, I quietly stood up. My attorney slid a thick folder across the conference table. Then a licensed surveyor rolled out the certified boundary map. Finally, I placed the original 1954 blueprint beside it. The room went silent. The surveyor cleared his throat. The original property description places Mr. Reynolds' eastern wall approximately 4 feet beyond his legal boundary. Richard laughed. That's ridiculous. The surveyor handed him the city certification. Then another document, an encroachment notice, then another, a demolition compliance order. His smile disappeared. One neighbor actually whispered, "Oh my God." I looked directly at Richard. You have 2 choices. Withdraw every HOA fine you've issued against my property, or remove your master bedroom by next Friday. Nobody spoke. Richard slowly reached for my violation notice, ripped it in half, then signed the withdrawal form. 3 weeks later, he quietly resigned as HOA president. He spent 3 years measuring everyone else's property. He never thought anyone would measure his.